What's up, everyone? It's Gavin or Tweek.
What's good? What's good? What's good? It's Marcus or Pink.
What up? What up? It's Charles or Chuck.
What's going on? It's Matt or Haz, bringing it in. Tweek Talks week after week. We're here back again. Another week, another W for you, Gavin, which is we always love to see. You actually had to beat more than one player this week, so that was an interesting and new challenge for you. That's awesome.
Was that regional harder?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Ouch is great, but, it's one player. Yeah, there were a lot of regionals this weekend, a lot of smaller tournaments. I was in full viewer mode. I know Marcus was watching a lot of tournaments too, and Chuck as well, and Gavin, you were competing. So it'd be a good week here to talk about a lot of smaller tournaments. And as we kind of build up to, I think we're back on that road to Genesis. There's a lot of good stuff to look forward to. I'm excited. Speaking of stuff to look forward to, we got a great Patreon topic coming up today, talking about a while ago we did building different characters, like the best Spacey and the best Fire Emblem character, like all this different stuff, or best Link, sorry, not Fire Emblem character. We haven't done that yet, actually. Notably, have not done that yet. So we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into hypotheticals with characters and some other stuff. Great question submitted by one of our patrons, patreon.com/tweektalk. Check that out. We got my man Gavin here. He streams every day on Twitch. Check out his channel for Tweek SSB. Is that yours, Twitch, right?
Yep.
All right, got it. And he also does Metafy coaching at Tweek on Metafy. So check him out, of course. Got to get all the plugs out of the way. Now we can actually get to some business. How y'all doing? Marcus, what's up, dude? How you doing?
I like how I'm like the resident, how's it going go-to person. I'm usually first. That's pretty cool.
Okay, that's it. Charles, you're up. Hit it.
Wait, you're taking it away?
Yep.
No way. I'm passing it back to Pink.
Go.
That's perfect
What
because now we at least mixed up the order, so that's good. I'll take it.
True. Life's good.
Marcus.
Life's good. Little updates, little man. He started saying no a lot. That's fun.
Oh, shit.
So if you ask him anything, he just says no.
No.
Doesn't matter what it is. So, you happy? No. You mad? No. You sad? No. You feeling anything? No. I'm like, okay.
He's a complex guy.
Hey, that's as children tend to be. So, yeah, that's cool. He's just saying a lot more words, growing up, running around, all that good stuff. That's pretty much my entire life.
He's spamming.
Yeah, actually spamming no. Full sending it. It's
Damn.
crazy. Yeah, life's good. How's it going, Chuck? We gotta send it back to you.
All right, so I'm a little butthurt. I missed the last episode because we talked about. Oh wait, I'm lagging. Okay, I'm back. All right, so I'm a little upset that I missed the last episode just because you guys talked about so many things I wanted to talk about. You guys talked about Wolf for half the episode. I fucking love that character, man. I'm a fan of all the Spaceys, and Fox is the most fun for me to play, but I did compete with Wolf in terms of most of the time competing in Ultimate. Like the first year was with Wolf. So I love talking about Wolf. I love the character. I think Wolf is really, really hard to play, which is why I switched to a more simple character. Just up air to up air, the good life, and then have good nooch. But yeah, I mean, the topics were great. I had a great time listening in last week, even though I wasn't, on the episode. Great topics. I mean, just again, congrats on your W, Gavin. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Beating Ouch, the Wolf matchup over and over again. But yeah, I don't want to go back to that. I just wanted to say that it was a very fun episode and the topics were great. And I'm doing good. So my New Year's resolution was to not work 7 days a week. And I didn't make it past January, unfortunately. So whoopsie. But I'm only working half days on weekends. So not too bad. But one nice thing about working on the weekends, since I am working half day and it's a little bit more chill, I do get to pull up my phone and just kind of watch streams while I'm working and stuff like that. So I do get to keep up with the tournaments. This weekend was really fun to watch. I mean, obviously Tri-State is a very strong region. And in terms of which region we really want to do well versus Japan, in terms of if you're an American fan of American Smash, is definitely Tri-State, right? And especially if you kind of clump Paris up in there as well, because Paris is able to.
Hold on.
I mean, it's like New England / New Jersey or Tri-State, right? Is I know for FGC, Connecticut is included in Tri-State, or it's some weird thing where Smash is
it's the opposite.
Tri-State. It's like the opposite or something. Whatever. Northeast region of Smash for America is what we're banking on essentially to beat Japan. So it's really fun for me to watch those tournaments because it feels like an American training ground, if that makes sense. Because for me, I love Smash, and I think it's really cool that Japan's on top right now. But on top of that, America used to be the best at Smash for a really long time, so it does sting a little bit. And I am rooting for America to come back. So it's always great to see the top American talent go off or fight each other in these tri-state regionals. So yeah, I had a great time. What about you, Gavin?
I'm pretty good. I'm really busy. I feel like I will continue to be busy for a while. Just planning all my tournaments. I've been doing a bunch of stuff locally, of course, but we also have Genesis coming up and all that. So I'm trying to plan for like from now to like May. So I'm trying to have all that settled before Genesis, just to feel like less stress. But yeah, I'm pretty good. I went to a tournament on Saturday. There was the tournament in Mexico, right? There was Frosty
like 3 of them.
Faustings. That's the only ones I was super aware of. There was also a tournament that on Sunday in Pennsylvania in my area that a lot of people that went to the Saturday regional went to as well. So shouts to them for being crazy. I didn't even know about that one, but Zamba won the one on Sunday. It had like a lot of tri-state. It had a lot of Marcus's region too. I didn't know about it.
You have gone?
They gate kept you, bro.
Nah, I would not have gone. I like Google
Sounds
Maps
like
it, and
2
I was
days
like,
in a row.
that shit was 2 hours away. I was like, no.
Dang, Google spoke.
Sunday one days are tough too, man. I'm not a huge fan of that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a lot.
I probably wouldn't have gone, but yeah, it was like Haz was saying earlier. It was a lot of like regional level tournaments, but there was just like a handful of them, so there was a lot of Smash. And like he said as well, we're leading up to Genesis, so yeah, I've just been really busy. Lots of streaming, lots of practice, lots of tournaments, lots of travel ahead of me. So I'm just trying to stay on top of it, so it's like not like as little stress as possible. I just want to be very scheduled and planned out and all that stuff. I don't want to be getting a flight a week before it happens or something.
Hell yeah.
What about you, Hez?
Yeah,
How
I'm
you
doing
doing?
great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All good. Yeah,
Sorry,
everything's good.
I forgot
man.
to point it in your direction.
I was like, he's already talking about Smash. It's over. It's all good.
That
I
was
don't
yeah,
have
that
a
was
lot
my
of-
fault. I should have passed to Hez first.
No. You did the right thing because my wife was coming home and she's not going to be quiet. Singing. Yeah.
That's fair.
Anyway, yeah. So that was actually great. It was really good timing. Yeah, everything's good, man. I'm busy as hell too. Feel like we're the 4 hardest working humans in Smash. Like, there's just so much going on all the time. Yeah, work's just been crazy. I've been watching a lot of tournaments, been having a lot of fun. I'm chilling though, man. I'm just trying to keep my head above water. I'm very excited for Genesis and for everything leading up to it. As we said earlier, I enjoyed all the tournaments this weekend. There's something nice about having like a lot of different tournaments to flip through. I
Yeah.
was watching the French tournament as well.
Oh
that went
yes,
on this
that was
weekend.
the one I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, there are a couple of them
Little
actually.
Mac.
One that, the Little Mac beating Kid, which is
Little
cool.
Mac, Kirby, Zelda.
Yeah,
Dang, it's the weekend of the low tiers.
Yeah,
the low tiers,
It was.
they showed up, bro.
Or are they underrated? Let's get into it.
They're broken as shit. I'm not gonna lie.
In a vacuum, yeah.
No,
They're not.
they're not.
Well, they're pretty good in a vacuum.
We're not gonna click.
Think about KO punch in a vacuum. That's running crazy.
That's the best move in the game. True.
Bro, you'll jab him and he'll be like, "Oh, I lost it."
You have to stay on the platform to stay alive in this game. If your ability to stay on the platform is trash, well,
See ya.
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, it was good. Watched Chase win, I believe, like his first big tournament on like a national scale at least. I know he's always done well in region and all that,
Yeah.
so that was pretty cool.
Congrats.
Apollo Kage, Tarek too had a great tournament. Tariq had a great tournament. Yeah, it was just a lot of like ADHD bouncing around between tournaments, which is very satisfying for me. So we'll dive into it. Everything's good though, everyone. So yeah, everything's good. I don't know, just staying busy, bro. It's basically just looking out for Genesis. That's all I gotta say. Like, I don't know. We're building up to
Yeah,
it
I
though,
mean-
which is exciting.
okay. So another topic that I actually want to bring back up because I think it's one of the most interesting topics from last week's episode is Gavin's Cloud. All right. So before we dive into this, I just need to
This is your fault, Gavin. You do. I don't know what.
All right.
Yep.
So Gavin playing Cloud isn't just Gavin playing. Oh, whoopsie. Gavin playing Cloud isn't just Gavin playing Cloud. It represents so much more, right? Because whether you agree or not, if you think Cloud is strong or not, Gavin thinks Cloud is strong, right? So in terms of just like a strong Sora character that he has previous experience with from a previous game, obviously they play a lot different. The movement in Smash 4, if you didn't not play that game, was any character with a good initial dash had a good perfect pivot. So perfect pivoting was a very popular thing to do in Cloud as Cloud. Even if you look at the two best Clouds in Smash 4 being Tweek and Leo, right? It's like they both perfect pivot in different ways, right? So just the movement in general, like the character has a lot of the same moves, but plays very different. Like holding on to limit forever also changes the character a lot, right? Forward air, you could tech if you were on the ground in Smash 4 and you got hit by forward air spike, you could tech and reversal Cloud. So Cloud could not forward air and neutral as much because you could just get
wasn't
guaranteed.
a thing because you just
up out of shield wasn't a thing. Like this character is not as copy paste as you might think it is if you're a Smash 4 vet or if you dabbled in Smash 4. So you cannot auto assume it just 1-for-1 transfers over. I'm pretty sure Gavin can even. That is a question I have for Gavin in terms of like his experience being a Smash 4 Cloud and kind of how hard, like what were the main things you were changing and stuff like that. But it also, I just feel like Gavin playing Cloud is like, I want to win. And I know Gavin's just been bouncing back in like with this topic of wanting to win and playing what you want to play. So I guess my first question to you, Gavin, is how has the transition been going in terms of just playing Smash 4 Cloud and being a veteran in that? Because if you played Smash 4, you had a Cloud. So you can auto relate with everything Gavin's about to play. Because if you played Cloud in Smash 4, or if you played Smash 4, you played Cloud for sure. You had a Pocket Cloud, whether you knew about it or not, you had one. And then on top of that, if you had a Pocket Cloud in Smash 4, you've at least tried Ultimate Cloud. Especially since you watch Spargo like shit on everyone with him, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Is this character really like that strong, right? And you're just gonna play out of curiosity. So what do you feel like are the main things? Because to me, it feels like fair is probably the biggest difference, like fair and upbeat, but yeah.
For me, it's not having limit forever and
Oh, that's a big one, yeah. That's
the slower grab. So sometimes most of the time my ledge trapping lacks confidence and like I lack a game plan when I'm in advantage sometimes. Like sometimes I'll just start doing shit just because I don't know what else to do. Yeah, like sometimes I'll have a nice string of advantage, but I'll be like there'll be like a slight hesitation or I'll leave myself open just because I'm like unfamiliar. My recoveries are pretty bad too. I feel like the routes of recovering are different because of directional air dodge, and sometimes I pick like the more vulnerable option on accident, so I die like a lot easier than I probably should. Like, because I know his recovery is like not bad, but I kind of make it look like it is sometimes.
Yeah, you might be still like Smash 4 pills when you're recovering,
Yes,
but
I might be.
like,
My routes might be like I might be picking like there might be two options, and I think I'm consistently picking the more vulnerable one or something.
mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things I want to do more. Like I really like when Spargo does short hop dare at the ledge and it like lingers and catches.
Mm-hmm.
It punishes get up attack hard. It beats neutral get up like and like there's like weird like it's kind of like ugly looking because it doesn't cancel or anything. But in Ultimate specifically, some of those strategies are really really good.
Well, auto
And
L canceling is turned on in Ultimate, Gavin. You're
yeah,
good.
like I do a lot of neutral air for better or worse. I think there's some spots where it's pretty creative, and the faster frame data can be nice. But sometimes I'll do approaching neutral airs and just get whiff punished by like a character Cloud has no business getting whiff punished by just because I'm doing his like shortest move. Yeah, I think my Cloud's pretty trash. I'm not gonna lie, but there's like moments where it's pretty good. And I've just had to like some really bad sessions where I don't know what to do when their defense is really strong. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds crazy because it feels like you would eventually just break through, but I really couldn't. So the funniest thing, I'll tell like the story of like, so I woke up for the regional, and so for the Reaper Invitational, I actually was interested in playing some Cloud, but I played 2 sets, so like there was literally no room to do it. I'm not gonna play Cloud versus Wolf, like I just don't have to do that. But I thought like, oh, I could play against Syrup or Mr. E or Gluto. Like there's a bunch of people where it would be reasonable to use like both characters. There's probably someone else that I'm just forgetting, but Light, I could have used it versus Light realistically. Like all that, like there was options. I could have got some practice in basically. And then waking up for the second regional I went to on Saturday, the Roundtable 2. This was after having like 2 or 3 bad sessions with Cloud, or I like didn't feel good about it. So I actually didn't plan on it at all, and I didn't. And I actually planned on going Sephiroth versus Syrup, but I knew everyone would be upset with me for that because I haven't played him and he's trash and no one expected it. So I literally woke up, told no one I was going to do it, went to the regional. I knew it was likely I would play Syrup in some way. And I tried it game 1 of Grand Finals, and it was okay. I lost. And then I went Diddy Kong and won. I lost 1 game and won 3 games. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people like it's one of those things where like all of my peers were like disappointed but not surprised kind of thing. I'm figuring it out still. It's not that I don't want to play Cloud, but the last few sessions were just like I hate feeling confused like a lot. If I feel like I don't know what to do in my next session or my next tournament match, I'm going to ask 1,000 questions to myself or someone around me, and I'm going to play like shit, and I'm going to like abandon my game plan I worked on for 2 months. Like if I feel any slight confusion, I'm like abandoning ship, like straight up.
You just abort.
I abort immediately because I don't like doing something unless I fully understand it and like I'm fully confident in it. Like when I pick Diddy Kong, like I'm not doing some random shit. Like I'm going to do like dude, I checked my Smash Ultimate stats on my personal Switch last night with Aaron. Bro, the amount of times I have selected that character is ridiculous. I was curious where Cloud was. He's like in the top 10 now, actually, of like playtime. He's like 6 or something.
That doesn't include training room, right?
No.
Goodness gracious.
And it doesn't include like actual tournaments, like of course, like
right.
It should.
Sephiroth is second, and it's not close to like the third, like Wario or PT, like Wario maybe. I think Wario. Sephiroth is like by far second, and then Diddy Kong is way ahead of Sephiroth. So yeah, I'm trying to be patient, but I knew it wasn't ready even all the way back to Reaper Invitational. I was more confident in it then than I was going into the Roundtable tournament. But yeah, it's not ready yet. And then I had like a couple Wi-Fi sessions with Sephiroth, and it's like it upsets me because my Sephiroth is like really good. Actually, I'm actually really good with Sephiroth. So it's confusing. I don't know, man. I really don't. It's funny that Charles is asking it because if you asked this like last week, it would have been
a totally different answer.
It would have been a little different. It really would be.
Well, I mean, to me, that's what makes it interesting, and like obviously play whoever you want.
I'm very I'm very dramatic. I feel like depending on the day, like.
I mean, to be fair, this is your career. To be fair, so I mean, I don't think it's necessarily like crazy to be like, oh man, my reactions are so drastic. Like, it's a very big decision, and to me, it's very interesting because whether you stick with the Cloud or not, it's just you're watching one of the best players to do it in Smash like through multiple games that is a multi-character main. Like, this wasn't a player that just played one character and found success. Now, I mean, in Smash 4, it was multiple DLC characters, and you also had some success with like outside of DLC, right? With Donkey Kong. So it's like, no matter what, you have played a bunch of different archetypes. So in terms of your view on what's strong, and even you seeing the vision of like, okay, I think Cloud is strong, and then you try to play it, there's, even with a player with this much insight and experience, there's still times where you feel confused, which is crazy to me, because Spargo is literally showing at least his play style on what he feels like the character, like the way Spargo plays Cloud is his vision of Cloud, right? And in terms of like what he feels like is strong and what works, obviously he's trying to win, he's trying to be the best. So it's really cool to see those kind of interactions in terms of like where you guys might think of things differently and stuff like that. Watching your Cloud, in terms of just watching your stream and watching you practice, like, you really, seems like you really want to incorporate Nair, but you're still feeling it out if it's worth it or not.
There's no
right?
way I'm not gonna like do things my
Well,
own
no,
way.
well, that's the best part, is I want to see you experiment with the kit, because I know you're not a player, because there are other top players that are more inclined to be like, oh, I'm picking up Cloud, look at a Spargo VOD, study Spargo VODs for like 8 hours and be like, okay, what would Spargo do? And then they just try to imitate what Spargo does, right? I know your process is completely different, which is why I want to hear of just like your thoughts of the move and what you think changes. Because to me, it's even really interesting when you say grab and limit. The thing, when I think back on Smash 4, that was like super guaranteed, it almost felt like Cloud ledge trapping was guaranteed.
Yeah,
like
that's
Cloud
what
with
that's
limit
what I
on
did
ledge
too.
with shield is like such a overwhelming win con, when someone, you put a pilot like Leo or Tweek behind that, and it's like, well, they get it 99.9% of the time. And to me, Smash 4 Cloud, I don't like, he's probably stronger than Ultimate Cloud, like that's a given, obviously, but like his win conditions felt so guaranteed at a certain point of the game. Whereas Ultimate Cloud, I don't think you have that luxury. So you're trying to figure out how you can apply at least consistent advantage states and stuff like that. But you have to use a lot more, you have to use a lot of different moves. Because even with Spargo, I feel like his fair usage is crazy. Like, he uses all the aerials amazingly.
He'll
but
do
like
5 in a row.
Dude, I think, and it's crazy too, because I don't know how Spargo does it, but he gets people spot dodging when they're like up against Cloud, and I don't know if they're trying to
you
spot
just
dodge.
gotta
like
get out of there, bro.
Right. So he makes people scramble, and then he hits someone spot dodge with fair, and it's like, oh god, like you're about to take 1,000,000 damage. Like it's gonna be nuts.
Interesting.
So
I mean, I watched a little bit, and it's just like, it'll be like normal sequencing, and then he'll get this hit, and he'll get a hit, and like he'll get the bread and butter. Then he gets like a tech chase, and he gets like a specific extension, and then he'll get the second tech read too, and then you're dead. So it's like, it's not like watching Light where it's like true combo, second combo is a kill. Like Spargo just like forward air, forward air, forward air, forward. Oh, one of them hit, and he gets a little bit, but then he just pushes it super far, and none of it's real, but it's so oppressive at the same time.
well, he knows where to put these soft resets, and then Cloud.
Yeah, he did this like, I watched him versus Ashimo, and he did this like sequence, like he gets his true stuff, gets a neutral tech, does a falling Nair, and then he gets a limit cross slash, and he like, so it went from like true like 30-40, like Cloud's usually getting a lot off the 2 hits, but then he got the extra 30-40 as well. Right. And like he gets that a lot, and he, like, there's such a big difference between playing to win and like playing to not lose. And Spargo is such a good example of someone that plays to win all the time.
Yes.
Tries to kill you, bro.
He will risk his stock to take yours.
Yep.
And it's so interesting because he's playing a character that is seen as like so vulnerable, yet he's the best example of the character. And he's putting himself in more vulnerable spots than other good reps of the character. So it's just crazy to me because he just wants to kill you that bad that he'll dash attack the neutral get up. He'll whiff a smash attack. He'll trust in the forward tilt or whatever it may be. And I just think that's so interesting because even me watching it for like an hour, I'm not going to do that when I play. I'm just not. Like, I know like it might be online too, so I just have less frames to trust myself, but I'm not like I said last week, I think it was like, in a spot where Spargo's dash attacking, I'm down tilting. It's just an easy separation. But I also think the way he paces himself and where he places his visual cues makes you scrap and makes it much more likely for those crazy looking things he's doing. The way he plays adds like a cushion to them, and it looks riskier than it is. It's very interesting. Like he'll go for the down air 2-frame, and then you're so scared, and you jump off the ledge because you were scared of getting spiked, and then his back air is already there. Like it's that type of stuff. And it's just like it's like an awkward, clunky level of speed because he does it with a lot of things that aren't necessarily auto canceling, but it's like he has just enough frames anyway. I don't know. It's crazy, and we've also talked about this somewhere where he'll cross slash your full shield. Like he's just going at you, bro. But he still has like really good sequencing his advantage state. He waits out the air dodges. He waits out the double jump. Like he stays low to the ground when he has to. All that good stuff. So yeah, there's a lot to learn. And playing Cloud made me learn more about Spargo, and I learned more about Cloud fighting and playing as him. All that good stuff.
Right. So even whether you play the character or not, you got value.
Yeah,
as a player,
I've
because
never
this is a
ever
character
treated-
you have to know how to beat.
Yeah. I've never ever treated any experiment as like a waste of time. Like if I played Kirby for a week, I'm never going to treat it like a bad thing. There's always something you can get out of it in Smash. Like probably in anything in life, honestly. You can always frame something as beneficial.
Cloud's hard, bro. Low key. It's like okay. There are parts of him that are very easy, and I think he can be very simple.
Yeah.
I think he can be extremely simple, but I think when you start fighting good players, especially, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, ones that are very hard to hit and play kind of turtley.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have like a way to open you up. There's no like mix or anything.
It makes you understand and respect Spargo's like brute force type of gameplay, where it's like, oh, you have to do that. And it's not like him lacking like a certain area of another part of the game. It's like he's doubling down on what he has to do, and he just makes it he makes it look easier for sure. But yeah, I would never go as far as to say Cloud is hard. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Your definition of hard is
Yeah.
usually attached to some kind of mechanical
tech.
Honestly, no.
Okay.
It depends.
Name a character that you think is hard that has no tech.
That has no tech.
That has
You
no
find
tech.
no tech.
Exactly.
A character
Low
definitely
tech?
has to have
No
tech to be hard,
technical fucking
but I
whatever.
think they might
bullshit.
not be as hard as you
Define
would expect me
tech
to
shit
think
out.
either. Like
I
I don't think
Cloud is.
I don't think Sheik is nearly as hard as the community portrays her.
I think Cloud is slightly
He might be
less
harder
difficult
than
than
I thought,
Wolf.
but he's definitely
Slightly less difficult than Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I
As
don't know.
long
I
as you
think
don't
Wolf
say
is
more
fucking
difficult.
hard.
No.
Wolf has like frame one fucking combo.
Wario's a hard character that doesn't have that much tech.
Okay, that's a character you've played. Doesn't count. Next. We have rules here.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's played a lot of characters.
Dude,
True. Well,
Bro,
no,
it
he
makes
like
me-
seriously played Wario. Like,
I mean, I
How-
played Wario since I was like 10 years old.
True.
It makes me think a lot about. It's a very similar conversation we are having about Ouch last week, where he just has that killer instinct, like because he knows his win
The play to
condition
win,
is
yeah.
when he hits you, he needs to make it fucking count because X, Y, and Z reasons about his character that suck on the other end of getting hit, right? Same thing with Spargo. Like and to be honest, Gavin, I mean, so many top players have that with their character in terms of their advantage state and just killing you. I thought of Sonics as well in terms of how crazy. I mean, Spargo, obviously. Gavin, you too, man. When you hit people with banana down air barrels and do 70 or whatever the fuck you do off one sequence, like you in Paris, I don't even really need to say it with him.
Everybody can do that, no flame.
Yeah, right. But I also think it's
top
not.
player DPS goes crazy.
Yes, but it's only with their characters. Like I think
Yeah.
that's where the nuance and the difficulty really comes in, where we say Cloud's easy, but it's like there's really only one fucking Cloud doing it at close to a top level.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like
It's not like
I
people
agree.
aren't clicking him. People are definitely clicking him.
yes, and I agree that on paper or like the thought process or the gameplay with Cloud is pretty fucking simple. But damn, bro, to make it actually work, like to have that X factor, and I
Yeah.
think that's one thing, Gavin, that you're looking for with not just Cloud. Your Diddy obviously has the X factor, and so does your Sephiroth, I'd say. But there's that X factor that's just not there with some secondaries, and I do think it comes down to raw hours. To be honest with you,
Yes.
how many nuanced, crazy situations are there in this game? How many not just play styles you need to think about, characters, etc., stages, everything. Like that's why Sonics and you and Paris and Spargo have these insane and ouch, right? Have these insane things. It's because you put so many focused hours into these characters that yes, the simple stuff's easy to do with them, but that next level top player shit is not easy.
It's also a difficult result from the last tournament I went to is like winning the Steve matchup with Diddy Kong. As cool as it is, it's also really annoying because the whole point of playing other characters was that I wasn't going to play Steve Diddy Kong, but there's just this thing with Diddy where like there's always something. There's always something where when I play other characters, I can see the game far enough where I know there's like like there's something missing and it's the character's fault to an extent. With Diddy Kong, like it's never there's always something in like almost every single matchup at the moment. And Steve is not a matchup that has gotten worse. The Steve matchup for Diddy Kong has never gotten worse for me. Never. It's had a really, really low. Dude, my cat is going insane.
Your
That's
cat
the one
does
that
not
keeps
agree
you up
with
at
that
night?
statement.
No, it's Ramby. Frankie's right
He was
here.
like,
He's
no
sleeping.
way, that matchup is ass.
So Steve had a really, really low starting point, and it's still low in terms of a matchup, but it has never, ever gotten worse. Ever. It has only gotten better. And that happens a lot with Diddy Kong. And it's just when you have so many options and so much tech, like at least with like how I play and view the game, like I'm going to consider it. Like and it just sucks because I would have rather lost that set with Diddy Kong and like maybe won it with Sephiroth. And it would just made more sense on paper. And it also has me thinking about a lot, especially with the future of the next game. I might get into that. But yeah, it's just I if I could, I would love to just play solo Diddy Kong, but then I have like my LMBM run where it's not like it deters me from playing Diddy Kong in general, but it is tough because I know I'm losing hard matchups. And it's a tournament environment. I only have so many games to work with. If you have other options, it would be nice. Because I watched Spargo play DeBuzz and No Flame back air the whole set and win. And I'm like, bro, that would be cool. I used to play that guy. I used to play that character.
I used to back her with Cloud.
Yeah, like I used to do that a lot. Like that, like Luma is getting bullied right now. But at the same time, I VOD reviewed it, and I have so many ideas with Diddy Kong for it. You know what I mean? Like,
See, the thing is, that is how you know. I tell people this all the time. I'm like, people are like, I don't really know. Like, I'm thinking between this character and that character. And I go, okay, when you lose with every character, what do you do afterward? Because if you say it was my fault, there's something else I could be doing, unless the matchup is absolutely like terrible, or you play like a Giga. Even with Giga low tiers, people still do it. Like I've talked to Peanut and be like, no, I think I could do this better.
Yeah.
I'm like, you main that character. Like,
yeah, that's
don't,
that's
if
your
the
character.
moment you click someone, like, I cannot, I will never say you main Sephiroth. Like, you'll always go back to him because you just enjoy him. But the amount of times you're like, Sephiroth is trash, I'm done. Boom, it's but with Diddy Kong, it'd be like,
Never said that before.
this matchup, you say Diddy Kong's trash, you do.
Yeah,
but
you say
you'll
it all the
say,
time. What the heck?
yeah, you'll be like,
It-
Diddy
it's
Kong is
different.
trash, and then like a day later, you'll be like, I have ideas. Yeah, I could have done
It's
something.
different
better.
with Diddy, okay?
That is always how you know if you main a character. When you start blaming like yourself instead of the character, even if the matchup
It's hard
is
for me to
trash,
blame myself. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, but you still like, you're like, I can
I
figure
still,
something
that's
out.
the thing though. I do it with Diddy Kong. With Wario, I never blamed myself one fucking time. Never. I'm blaming Wario every day of the week.
Wario scapegoat. What the heck?
Wario's the scapegoat, man.
What
Um,
did
Poor
Wario do?
Wario.
He doesn't even have a main any. He doesn't have a
With-
representative
with Diddy
anymore.
Kong?
Yeah, I
Gavin.
know. Poor Wario.
Gluto
with Diddy
killed him
Kong,
too.
I feel like I blame myself more than Diddy Kong, which is cool. Like now that we mention it, but I have these thoughts about sword characters lately.
Ooh,
So
okay. Ultimate sword characters.
God.
sword characters in general, actually.
Oh.
But mostly in Ultimate because that's the current game we're playing. Yeah. But this might connect into the future Smash games. We'll see. So if you get deep enough into competitive, sword characters are viewed as like the cool guy like character
Huh?
for like competitive
Pause
players.
there for a second.
Okay,
As
wait a
from
minute.
spectators, like from the spectators.
From
what you're saying.
spectators and
Yeah.
even some players, I think like it is viewed as like the
Fundies,
fundamental. You're
yeah.
really good at the game.
I see.
And,
Okay,
like,
gotcha.
This is like
Okay,
when you think of Smash Bros, you would think of a sword character.
Classic archetype.
Yeah, like
Lucina Marth, yeah, whatever. Okay.
I think there will be a day where that's not the case anymore. I
Okay,
think
so-
it might be outdated eventually. And I don't know if it's going to be in Ultimate or if it's going to be in the next game or both.
Wait,
I don't know
outdated
where
in
I'm
a
going
way
with
of
this,
like it's gonna be
But I think
trash?
I used to kind of think this too,
I
where
thi-
like if you're cool, you play a sword character. But I'm starting to think the opposite, bro.
That
I'm
It's
kind
starting
lame
to
if
of
you play a sword character.
I'm starting to think it's kind of fucking lame.
happened in Melee already.
Yeah, I'm
but
about to say.
it's a little more nuanced because Marth has like the chain grabs and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's a little more nuanced, but I guess Melee's always the
I
outlier.
think sword
like,
characters might hit a ceiling eventually.
So let's break it
In
down. Let's just
coolness
break it
or
down-
like in power level?
Both.
let's
Both.
break it down in Ultimate. Let's not worry about like old like Brawler, Smash 4, or whatever. So in Ultimate, the characters that fit into that category are Cloud, Aegis,
Roy.
Lucina.
Yeah.
Is that like all we're really
Roy
considering?
Corrin.
Roy Corrin.
There's
Corrin,
more. There's
yeah.
more.
Please don't consider Shulk. Like, oh no.
Well, hold on now. Shulk just got a good win this
Well,
weekend. Shout
he's
out to Nico.
potential sword.
Man.
Yeah,
Mr. Potential.
sword.
He's so different. It's weird.
So
Yeah, Corrin.
I don't know what I'm trying to say. This is a very new thought, but it kind of reminds me of why I picked up Diddy Kong during COVID, where Diddy Kong beats like certain core aspects of Ultimate that people rely on, and I don't think sword characters do that well.
What is the genesis of this thought? Like, what made you? Where did this come from?
Just like the simplicity of it sometimes with the sword character. I think it's like a blessing
Playing
and a curse.
Cloudmore, playing Sephiroth a little bit.
Yeah, just like thinking
Okay.
about it like before I went to my last tournament. And like
Oh no.
I think their simplicity will bite them eventually.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, when I think of why sword characters are strong in general, like if we're just talking about the power scaling of sword characters, I will say in Ultimate, it feels like they're strong because there's very low end lag on your aerials that
Yeah.
control X amount of space, right? So like, I mean, Cloud
I
still
think
did
controlling
that.
space might not
Okay.
matter.
Right. It just depends on how projectiles interact with swords, right? Because generally when I think of a general archetype triangle for Smash is like, okay, well, you have the sword guy that keeps out the like melee character or whatever, right? Or the character that just wants to be up close, right? So you're getting zoned out by that. But the projectile character has more range than the sword character. So now the sword character is not keeping out, the sword character has to approach. But then against the projectile character versus the up close guy, fast up close guy gets in on projectile character, whatever, right? So it's kind of like a little
I'm trying
triangle,
to think of what I'm trying to say. Like
The thing is,
From World of Light, Charles.
unless they're like super easy, like Smash 4 Cloud, I don't think there'll ever be a sword character popular enough with enough good players for them not to be viewed lame.
it's just so
sword characters will always be strong in my opinion.
Because
Like, I don't see them falling off.
popularity and the amount that people see a character plays a huge like amount and how much people consider it lame or not lame. So if you're
Yeah.
seeing like
I don't-
Fox
who
is
cares
becoming
about that,
more and
but,
more lame.
like so like what I'm thinking is like sword characters beat some important aspects of the game briefly. Like a delayed aerial can beat spot dodge / spot dodge cancel. They can space on shields. They can be safe on parry. But it's like a slight victory in all these situations, how I view it, for all these sword moves and sword characters. To the point where like they still have to interact with inconsistencies of ultimate frequently. And like if they're controlling space, regardless of projectiles, people don't have to deal with it. They don't. If you play a certain way. And I actually think the sword character player base, I think regularly lacks important skills in Ultimate.
Yeah.
And I think it's weird because the sword character will introduce you to a lot of this stuff and will also give you the tools to beat all of it. But it's like not enough. And like I don't know what I'm rambling, but like
think about it this
I think
way.
there's a
You
problem
feel like
with,
you think you're saying the ceiling is low, like not
based
as
on
high
the way
as
I've
we
been
think,
playing
not
against
necessarily low, but
sword players as sword characters and the way I've been playing Ultimate for the last like few years now, sword characters are not the pinnacle. They're not.
The pinnacle of what?
Yeah.
Winning?
Yeah.
No.
yeah, the guy that
But-
builds blocks is the pinnacle of winning, Gavin.
But they are
He has a sword.
He's
Jab.
like almost
they are
good
very
with that.
good complementary characters
It's a
for
good sword.
sure. I think almost every sword character needs a secondary.
Yeah.
Maybe all of them do.
But even then I don't know if
Yeah.
that's like the true answer.
I think the game has evolved so much since that, like the 3 archetype Charles was talking
You
about.
need
Like,
a way to win without dealing with anything.
well, yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, you build a
You pick
Wall,
I don't know, Sonic.
and then
Sonic.
you think Sonic?
Steve.
I mean,
Steve,
Sonic,
sure.
right? Same.
Snake, Diddy Kong, Rob.
Yeah.
Like
It's
you
the
can
4th
win?
forbidden archetype, bro.
you
Wait.
can win without you can beat people for playing core ultimate without playing core ultimate yourself. Sword characters always have to play ultimate,
Yes.
Oh, you're trying to
but
win
you-
without playing ultimate.
which means I'm going
Yeah.
to beat you.
But you can do that with most of those like Snake, Diddy, Rob until they play against each other, and then it gets a little.
Yeah, then it's
Counter-
weird.
Counterpoint: the number 1 player in the world is a swordy player.
He plays 2 swordies.
Yes.
he plays the
count?
swordy for his bad match.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
like,
saying. He
I'm
doesn't.
saying I'm thinking
he
of
wouldn't
like
play just one.
Gotcha. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
a hypothetical. Because like, what if we VOD reviewed right now? I would be able to explain myself even while he's winning.
Maybe we do
Right,
it on
right.
Patreon.
Ooh,
Shit.
that sounds fun.
Like,
Why
change
sword
the
characters
team-
suck?
like a
topic.
team VOD review.
Yeah,
Change
They
the
don't
topic, change the
suck.
topic.
They don't suck. They're really good, but I think there's a handful of characters that have a ceiling that the sword will never reach.
right. There's
And
other
it's-
archetypes or characters.
And it's like a sacrifice that the sword players are willing to make.
Like a potential type
I
of
get
thing.
what
Is
you're
that what
saying.
you're talking about? Like their ceiling?
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah,
sense
talking about
I,
their
think,
ceiling, yeah.
I think it might just be a misunderstanding too of the game in general.
Jesus.
Like the community misunderstanding it, including maybe myself for a while. Like having an item is so good.
Broken. Yes, items are fucking insane.
It's
Do you think that plays into why you have a hard time switching off of Diddy Kong? Because it's such a valuable.
I was
Dude,
able
like,
to play the Smash I think of, and it's actually valid. Like, and it's like optimal. Like, there's just
Interesting. That's
the
interesting because
the
it's so
recipe for
different.
success with the sword character. It's up to your opponent. It's not up to you. It's up to your opponent.
I mean, kinda.
If your opponent's like that good,
Kinda.
you won't win.
No.
The thing is,
No, I
none of
don't
us are
think so.
good.
I
None
don't
of us
agree
are
with that.
good.
No.
Oh
I
no!
don't
What
agree
is
with
this? What the?
No.
None of us are good at the game.
No.
Well, I mean, I guess like you guys aren't playing perfect by no means, but
We suck. We're all rolling and
I
spotting.
dude,
like
fucking
the-
ultimate
I like-
is a very hard. Hold on. I just want to really break
No,
down
that's the
how
cool
hard
part.
ultimate
That's
is.
the cool
Our
part.
ultimate is really fucking hard, and
Really
it might
hard.
not be like APM hard as melee, but you got to think of all these fucking matchups. There's different levels of rage. There are so many situations. Gavin probably. How long have you been playing Ultimate, Gavin? Like 7 years now, or 6 years, however long it's been
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah.
People
So
got mad at us. We didn't know.
you still go to Ultimate tournaments, and I guarantee you, at every tournament, you probably are in a scenario you've never been in, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Right?
Yep.
Well, like I try to play in a
Or
way
at least
where
it happens like every month or something. Like
I try to play in a
this
way
game
where
has
that
so many
question doesn't
variables.
get at like that question doesn't present itself. So like
Your
but
playstyle is literally
still-
revolved around that. That's crazy. Like that's how
my
often it
playstyle
happens.
revolves around consistency and like winning against shit that doesn't make sense.
Wait. So if this sword thing, this really means we'll never get to see you play Sora? This is so miserable, man.
Nah, like
Sora uses
Dang,
magic.
doesn't
Hold
have-
on.
doesn't
He's
have-
like
Well,
a
hold on, I'm
battle
back.
mage. He's a battle mage. Hold on.
like
I'm
Diddy
back.
Kong low key, like just he's better. He's better.
I'm too old to say sword character like the sword archetype. Is
yeah,
bad. I'm too old. I'm
I
sorry,
think
man.
for you,
I
this
hear
applies,
what he's
Gavin.
saying.
If we
I
want
don't
to,
think-
if we want to play this hypothetical out and we want to win, and I'm like creating like a Smash player, I'm not giving them the sword, bro. That's the lazy way out.
It's not lazy.
I don't know about that.
It
It's
is,
still
I don't
bro.
know,
hard,
No
man.
tech skill. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, it's very clean, efficient, and
Oh,
it's
but-
really good. But we could do better. We could do better. I'm making them play fucking Pikachu, bro. I'm making them play
Really?
Sonic. I'm making them play Diddy
Ah,
Kong.
I
That's
mean,
all.
those yeah. So the archetypes or characters you're saying, I like.
They
are
can
strong,
win
yeah.
with no room to lose. Like,
Right. And whether you think that's strong or not, but that's your thought on the archetype.
the sword character makes the opponent lose to themselves.
Yes.
We can avoid that
No.
entirely. If we
No.
play in a certain way, we can just beat them.
Can
and
you?
it's not
Okay.
up to them.
Okay, this guy
you
main
do this
Meta
at the next
Knight in
tournament
Brawl,
you're at?
and he was planking and up airing from the ledge, had the counter for all the ledge grabs. Like that was Gavin in Brawl. All right, this is what you sound like, Gavin. I'm just letting you know now. This is what you sound like.
Can I say? Let's see. in
Sword
practice.
characters have a limit, bro, and it's not a good like it could be a problem one day. There's gonna be a day where it's not the cool guy thing anymore, bro.
Ain't
Where it's not
nobody-
funnies. I don't
well,
know about
well,
that
but
because
Bro, there's so many cool fucking sword characters. Man.
there's first off,
I'm
just
sorry, dude.
statistically, like half the cast has a fucking sword. So like just
True.
statistically right there, that's tough. Secondly, there's a million of them, like different
bro.
like varieties and buckets of them. Like it's
You want to win and you want to like be like super fucking good and you want to believe in yourself and you're winning because of yourself. Bayonetta is like such a good answer, bro. Play Bayo
what?
or Pikachu or Sonic or Diddy Kong.
Do not pick up Bayo 7 years into the game. I'm just
Dude,
ending
Margo,
this
let's
there
see
right
it.
now.
Come
Abort the mission. Don't do that. That is a
She's-
horrible
she is
idea
cool
and
as
is
fuck,
very
though.
fucking hard.
But
She is very cool.
I think Marcus's answer too, where there's also like the social dynamic of it, where the more you see something, the less cool it becomes. So if Swordies all of a sudden take over and they're super like, dude, if Bayo didn't come out in Smash 4 and it was all Cloud and Corrin, yeah, I'm sure we'd be like, wow, fuck these characters, like they're super annoying and lame and like whatever. I'm sure that would have happened, but there's too much other shit
I'm
that's
not trying to
lamer.
say it's like corny or lame. I'm trying to say like because of like what I'm trying to explain for like the gameplay aspects, it won't be like the cool thing anymore. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like
the novelty of it will always be cool though, because
Good word.
No,
novelty was the right word. That's good.
the players like Proto and like Spargo and like Cola are like there are very few of them that can ever bring out the potential of the Swordy. So there will always be people who see like those specific players and be like, I want mine to look like this, and they'll love it. Leo's Joker, like all those things, even though some of those characters are giga lame, like in actuality, like when you're fighting against them, you're like, dude, what is
dude,
this?
like all those players are super cool and I love the shit they do. But if I create this robot Smash player, it will beat them, bro.
I mean, yeah,
but if I put it against like someone else, it won't. Like I don't know how to explain this.
You're
Like
talking about creating chat GP Tweek. It's not, it's not good.
Like there's just core things that like there's just a certain ceiling that won't be reached. It just won't be reached.
Well, them as players is what allows them to kind of start touching the ceiling of the sword player.
No, dude, they're
Bro,
not. They're not.
No,
bro,
but it's
like obviously they're not touching it, but like they are the closest to touching it out of everyone else in the
I'm
world.
saying it is statistically not possible with the archetype.
No,
okay, but
not the ceiling of the entire game, the ceiling of the sword characters.
Yeah.
They are the closest to touching the ceiling of the sword characters. Maybe not
No,
the
that's
entire
the
game.
thing. The ceiling is easy access, bro, with the sword character.
well,
It's
yeah, but they're
easy.
okay. Why would you
Mm,
switch off of something that's
mm.
working though? Like if you haven't even
That's
reached the
my that's
ceiling,
my issue, bro. That's my
yeah,
issue.
that's on you,
I
dog.
don't want something
I
to
Like
blame
you
work.
gotta,
you, all
I
the
want
you gotta
something
Bayonetta
show them that the
players,
ceiling's
you,
done.
I want something to
etc.
work because of me, not because of the opponent.
Well, okay, let's be
Like,
real. The
this is why
ceiling of
this is something that's I talked about this like in an interview like recently actually. Something I love about Leo as a person and player is he's so good at being present in the moment and picking something that works specifically because of that. I am the exact opposite.
correct.
I like trusting in myself and picking something that I think will work a year from now. And I'll risk doing that in the moment for the moment when it works a year from now. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's my problem with the sword character. I think they're so present rather than future. And I could see a day where that comes back to bite the archetype, whether it's in Ultimate or the next Smash game. Like
Oh,
it's
you think this is like carrying over, like the
yeah,
ceiling, like the. Okay, now this makes sense. So you feel like the sword type
and it
or the
doesn't
sword
matter. Like
archetype.
sword character could win every Smash tournament for the rest of time, and I'll still like kind of think this.
I
Like
see.
I just I think it could end up being a poor investment one day, but I'm not. This is such a weird conversation. I
Ain't
hope
It
no
is.
way
someone.
it's
I
a
love
poor
this
I
shit
hope
investment.
though, but
I hope my comments are like I'm not being mean to any players or
are you,
anything. Like it's a weird like hypothetical like this is all about the game. It's not about any players
I
or
wouldn't worry about
anything.
that. I do think you're fucked in the comments, but it's all good. It's probably not about that though. You're being very nice to the players. So I will say that there is effectiveness in simplicity though. Like that is something that is good to bring to the table when it comes down to how you win matches, how you win tournaments, how you do all that shit. And I feel like that kind of is adjacent to what you're saying. I'm still honestly I'm not even 100% sure what you're saying still.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, moving on.
What?
can't just
Just
moving
drop
on.
that?
That-
What the fuck?
You can't just do that and say moving on.
I don't think so.
No.
They love sword characters way too much, bro. They're always going to be good, and it's like it's such a signature Smash thing. Like they're always just going to be
Yeah,
there and good.
I mean, the
think a
only thing
sword.
I could see them fucking it over is like if there's a lot of end lag on moves or something like that. If like your
Yeah,
move has a disjoint and they just add more lag because they're like, wait a minute, people without disjoints can't contest this, so there should be some kind of give and take in terms of power level or whatever.
boy,
But
it
a
would be
but a
terrible.
freaking sword aerial is like sometimes
you thought
the
you
most
thought
lagless move in the game.
bro.
They were-
You thought Smash Ultimate was mashy. Let me introduce you to the next Smash game where swordies can't defend themselves at all. They swing once and it's your turn.
I would
GG.
love to. Like, I'm curious what they will add for the next Smash game in terms of the archetype, because it'd be cool if they add something entirely different to those characters specifically to like set them apart, not only just as a fan of the game, but also to see like what it does for them competitively. Like, there's just certain things that just worry me. It's like when I think of Sephiroth, I think one of like I've said this before, like one of his biggest problems is the fact that he has a sword, and if you are a sword character, you have to be a really good character as a character. You can't just like bring something specific. You can't just bring something unique to the table and be valuable because they'll just play a better sword character. Who cares? Like the good thing about Game and Watch is that no one else is Game and Watch. Like his strengths are like pretty unique to him, and it kind of elevates him more before we even consider a tier list placement. Whereas if you think of Ike doesn't bring anything that the other characters don't bring, and the other characters are better. So it's really important, I think, for the next Smash game to maybe make more of a separation, at least for the new ones. Um, I don't like. I don't even know what I'm thinking of. Like, it would have to be for like their special moves or like like different types of multi hits, like stuff like that. Like things like Byleth neutral air and Byleth up air, I think are really, really good for the archetype. And it's stuff I wish I had access to when I play as like Sephiroth. Like if I had like a different up air or like a multi hit move somewhere, like that would be nice. Like I think the archetype needs more stuff like that to stay super good competitively.
Yeah, and it's hard when there's so much sword characters too, right? So like when half the roster is sword characters and you're a shitty sword character, you're like,
Yeah.
damn, it's a lot of other characters that do exactly
Yeah.
what I do, but better.
To try to
Oh,
see like
this
if you
sucks.
guys are on the same wavelength as me, I'm going to suggest I'm gonna think of one Cloud move right now that keeps him together competitively. And I'm gonna
Keeps him together in terms of like makes him strong.
Yes, like keeps him very, very, very strong. Like there's one move that comes to my mind that if he didn't have it would be a game changer.
Okay, I
All
have
right.
my move in mind.
Well,
What is it?
wait. I
Wait,
have a question, but it's
Oh.
because it's kind of weird. Like an actual. Okay, go on.
Charles first.
Okay, my answer is up B.
Okay, Marcus.
It is limit a move.
Yeah, down B is a
Sure,
move. Yeah.
sure.
Ooh, limit's a good answer. I think limit charge is a good answer.
Yeah.
And now I'm like second guessing myself because
Oh, Gavin's weird. He's gonna say some fucking weird ass.
But limits like a.
Gavin's a fucking weirdo.
I think both of you make sense, but it's not what I'm thinking of.
If I
Well,
come on, I didn't even get to finish. I was gonna say since Chuck,
You're wrong. You didn't even answer.
I didn't even get to say anything.
don't worry about it. Gavin's got
I was
it.
going to say since and it's Blade Beam.
All right, Haz.
Spicy.
Are we just covering all of them? So you got Blade Beam, you got Climb Hazard.
Well, no. Oh, well, yeah, sure. If you want to increase our chances.
Option coverage.
Yeah. Let's go.
I'll go charge limit. I like that. And does it count for finishing touch?
Because we know it's not back air. Gavin would never say it's back air.
Makes sense, but in my opinion, what keeps Cloud together competitively, and gives him a chance all the time is cross slash.
Oh, okay.
Because
it's the anti-air part.
It's like a pacing like disconnect. It changes everything once he presses it, like whether it's on your shield or connects it. Whereas a lot of the time, sword characters, the pacing will repeat itself the whole fucking game.
Oh, like the Ike narring, and like Ike doesn't have something where he like lands on the ground. And he can be like, oh, if I hit you with this mix up where you think I'm going to set up jump again and nair, it's like I'm going to deal 24 damage.
Like jab, grab, and like normal stuff. Like
something that breaks the tempo.
Well, having that tempo break is so huge. Like Marth, Lucina side B is like so iconic for like that in my head. And
someone's not happy with your answer.
Better check out your car, Marcus.
I think
it's still there.
I think sword characters need that kind of stuff. And if you play a sword character, try to think of like that kind of move for your character. It is how you fucking win. Like, breaking tempo. It just feels so important. And sometimes sword characters, like the opponent can play in a way where they don't even let you get the chance to break the tempo. And you'll win with the same tempo the whole game because your character is just fucking really good at like the base floor of it. But I think there's a world where like they just don't let you use that floor anymore.
And then they press Blade Beam.
Yeah,
I
guess
I like what you're saying about cross slash.
Like
totally agree, and it does obviously all the base level things too. It does 20 plus if you hit it. It kills when it's limit.
The reward is there.
All that shit is great too.
Like the interaction after you cross slash, whether it's on shield or when it connects, is way different than if you weren't going to press it. Like it changes everything for the next few interactions, and sword characters just aren't that good at that because the base option of like a tempo break I would think of is like an empty hop grab in Smash, and like everyone can do that. But for swordies, that's like expected when you're playing against them. I don't know, like it's what they have to do. And like I'm saying, like I feel like you can play in a way where they just never even get the chance to tempo break, and they're forced to just do their basics the whole game. And they might win off that. You could win. You could probably win Supernova doing this. You probably could, but I think there's a world where like they just won't be effective anymore.
Well, that's what
And
makes the strong sword characters strong, because I feel like when you think of the sword archetype, you're thinking about like this basic standard sword flow chart where it's like, okay, set up falling area, set up falling
yeah,
area, or like, am I going to do a rising area, right? But Cloud, the cross slash is such a good tempo break move because it's a special move. It doesn't matter if you are in the air, if you are
yeah,
like one frame before hitting the ground, if you
yeah.
just hit the ground, if you are still like maybe 6 frames from hitting the ground, like you can do that move at any point in that time and you get a lot of damage. It anti-airs if they panic jump out of that situation, right? Like it's covering so much and your options to tempo break are really good. And then there's other characters with multi-hit moves that can also do that, like, you know, maybe like a Byleth or a Mithranare or something like that, right? So there are other characters with that option as well, but I think with Cloud, like the reward you get is crazy. Like just the damage output is insane. How much space it covers is crazy. How much space you were previously covering before is insane. The fact
Like,
that if you hit 1-2, there's a mix up after if he's going to go for the rest of it or not. So, because like for me, when I thought of up B, I'm just a brawl player and I'm thinking what keeps like Cloud in neutral, like out of shield. His out of shield is actually really good. It has a lot of range. But when you look at Sparkle, he doesn't like, he still plays out of shield, but he's mainly trying to set up some kind of fault, like setup in the air, because that's where Cloud gets like his big damage, right? Is like, okay, I fell down on top of you with a forward air or a back air. I can combo into cross slash or dash attack, or maybe that back air dash attack sets up into a tech chase, right? Like we always talk about how Spargo sets up these like 2 to 3 hit combos, but he doesn't just cash out and that's it. He wants to put you in some kind of, okay, there's another tech chase or another coin flip where I can even extend it farther, and he's really good at that. So even knowing all those setups, that's
like
why. Oh, go ahead.
let's look at Ike. Like, what are his
Nothing.
what are
He
his
got
tempo
nothing.
breaks
Yeah.
compared to Cloud? They all
Rising back
stem.
air.
They all stem from like empty hop, or meeting someone preemptively, thinking that like empty hop down tilt, empty hop grab, like catching someone getting out of shield with up tilt. Like those are his tempo breaks, and like you don't have to. He won't even get the chance to do it to you. Like,
Yeah.
and I think you can take it farther even with the really good characters in some spots. Like if you play it well, like even as far as like. And then there's some tempo breaks that are really consistent and like can withstand the whole match, and you have to deal with it all the time. But they don't like do anything if you play really, really well. Like I could even look at Joker. Like his tempo breaks aren't that good. Like Gun is really good because you can do it all the time and it's always a factor. But you can still play in a way where like he has to play at that specific pacing the whole time, and then it's not even like complementary anymore. Like I just and like the thing is like this isn't just characters wielding a sword. Like this could go as far to like Wolf, Palutena, Joker, where
Inkling,
it can
characters that have
reach a
fallen
point.
off.
It can reach a point where you just don't even give them a chance anymore in the weirdest way. Like you just have this. You have to play really, really well. But like I don't.
You're saying that once the
For the
player's
same reasons we
skill
think
gets
some of
to a
these
certain
really
point,
bad characters are really bad, you can start to apply those rules to like really good characters too. Um, like I don't know. It's
Yeah.
not just sword characters.
Basically, your view of the game is changing.
Maybe.
Ike sucks is what I'm getting from this.
Yes.
Well,
Ike
Finally,
is bad. Ike is bad.
TLDR.
we can all agree.
But it's like saying Kazuya's bad though. Like these like you still might get fucked up because Ultimate's hard game, but like
Yeah, I don't think Kazuya is overwhelming and neutral to the point where it's like, oh man, it's going to be.
Kazuya's a bad character. Kazuya's not good. Like
Yeah.
Kazuya sucks. And I've lost to him, playing like really good matchups. Like I get it. I suck sometimes too. Like Ultimate's hard and he still kills you at 0. Blah blah blah. But like
Dang.
like you can weirdly apply some of these weaknesses to characters you would never think it applies to.
Gavin, your brain is
But
way
the thing
in the
is,
future when you think about like character strength, which is not a bad thing. I'm just letting you know in terms of like relevance to the current player base's skill, like that it doesn't add up in terms of results, obviously, right? But
Yeah.
I think what you're thinking of is when the player skill gets to a higher level where it's like, oh, these things, like when your opponent is dice rolling for their win condition rather than being like, oh, well, my character just straight up wins this scenario. You know what I'm saying?
Or does it have
I
to
think
be
there's other characters that have those scenarios, so their ceiling is higher or have those scenarios more often.
What is the breaking point for this? Like, when does this happen?
Never. The ceiling never gets touched. We try to touch the ceiling forever, but we can never touch the ceiling.
Like,
no, what's the
That's the
breaking
rules.
point? What's the breaking point of sorties suck now? Like, when does that happen? Never.
I don't know. Would 5 years, 10 years, Gavin? What would you say the timeline
That's
is
why
for this?
Ultimate's gone
I
by
don't
then.
know. They'll
Maybe.
always be really good. I'm still gonna think they're really good even when I play, but it's just like I just think there's a way to have consistency versus it. There really is. Like I know I'm biased because Diddy Kong like is so naturally good against them, but like I think it can apply to anyone. It just depends on like how good you are at like taking small victories as your character as well. Like when I think of Pikachu and Sonic, like they're never in a scenario where they don't care about breaking the tempo, bro. They don't care about that. Like you're dealing with them all the time, no matter what. Sonic is down 3 stocks to 1, and he's still way fucking better than you. Like you're still
Oh,
going.
when Sonic has the lead on you, your character goes down a couple tiers. Like it's crazy.
Like it's just it's interesting. It's I don't know.
But
When I think of Fox, like Fox brings the fucking game to you, bro. Like you're fighting for your life because like it's not like Ike empty hopping and then he down tilt. It's like Fox grabbed you before you considered the fact that he's gonna jump. Like that's good. That is strength. Like
Yeah.
it's just
So you think Fox has a higher ceiling than sword characters, like Fox's archetype or just Fox in general as a character?
yeah.
And do you think it's because Fox's tempo breaks are like more rewarding, or
He doesn't have to.
there's a bigger window for them, or less time for your opponent to react to these tempo breaks? Because
I
like
think
just
he doesn't even tempo
frame
break
data
at
wise,
all.
it's okay. So because like
That's
frame
the
data wise, he just
strength of
wins,
it.
right? Right, like the speed, the sheer speed of it,
Yeah.
which then gives it consistency because of
Yeah.
how like the chances of your opponent being right compared to wrong. If you make if the numbers are tighter, then it's more in your favor.
Yeah.
Essentially, right?
And then there's just the parts of the match where he isn't there at all, and then that's good for him as well. But like these like some of these characters are just outdated because of the Smash game they're from too. Like Captain Falcon's like mini game
that character's trash.
is just like not good
Not
enough.
good enough. Man. Minigame's not good enough.
Like it's just
Not an ultimate.
his mini game isn't good enough because like he would need like a better dash attack or something. You know what I mean? Like he would, because I don't know,
Give him a snake dash attack.
or like a different down tilt. Like it would be a nicer way of breaking the tempo. Like it's like so think of Diddy Kong. What's so crazy about him is you have banana monkey flip, right?
Okay. Yep.
But then
Pretty
like
standard.
down tilt dash attack or like this in between, and in the right matchups, if you know what you're doing, you can execute it in a way where like they can't even do anything when you go for it. Like or like the fact that the monkey flip kick will be safe at some points, or like I'm not even gonna say some of the things I know because I don't want to expose myself, but like there's just ways of like it's kind of like the cloud brute force strategy with Spargo that's so impressive, but with Diddy Kong it's like guaranteed to hit them. Like it's so reliable. Like
Yes, but then the unreliable part is the
like
human
people should play
aspect of it.
Mega Man, bro.
That
That
is hey, Chuck spitting. See you.
what'd you
Like
say?
there is another side to it. So the like on paper it is reliable, right? Because like this is unblockable, or like because Smash, isn't designed like a actual fighting game, right? Where you can get grabbed and hit stun or shield stun, right? Like this setup is guaranteed, or this is a true combo if executed
Yeah.
like this, or if you pivot slide the down to, you can get into a forward smash after a banana slip. Like all these things are extremely reliable, but the part that is unreliable is the fact that you are a human being. right? And now you try to you will compensate for that by going and doing things through repetition and stuff like that. That increases your chances, but it'll never be 100%. That's why I always say, like, we're always trying to touch the ceiling, but it's like we'll never touch it. We'll get really close, or some people will. But
And that's why the robot aspect that you mentioned earlier was so important, because robots could do it. Of course, they lock in
So,
and be
wait,
like,
Like,
does
bro,
that mean
Mega Man, like, there's
Mega Man's good.
like Peanut's
Bob, another great robot.
Peanut's idea of Mega
trust all of
Man
them
is
robots?
so good. Like, Peanut is very good, but like Peanut's like you can see the flowchart and the idea. That is like winning Smash Bros. To me. Like, you can win like that. Like, and then, like, bro, I swear, like, Meta Knight could play in a way where he just be winning, bro.
Okay, this is where this combo ends, where it's like you with the Mega Man, and then you're like,
Wait.
but wait a minute,
ended up.
Meta Knight better
what
than
if-
sword character.
What if
Like,
Kirby?
I like Pit as an idea more than you would expect
Okay.
because of things like multi-hits and like his grab is nasty.
Yes.
Like,
But
I think
DI
the-
mix-ups are
I
crazy.
think the only thing keeping Wolf together in Ultimate is his dash grab being broken.
Yep.
Because dash grab fucking sucks. But not his.
That dash grab is unreactable. I do not care
So
what
if
people
he didn't
say.
have that though,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he would really suck.
I was just gonna,
like
He already sucks, but he would
my
really
idea of
suck.
like what's keeping characters together, I feel like it is different. Like Marcus said, maybe I'm just viewing the game differently, but like Rob's gyro isn't what keeps him so good because it like kills you at 0. Like, that's nice, but like it's because there's certain things he just doesn't have to do.
Oh yeah, I think gyro obviously the 0 to deaths, the
And he
punish
just
game is
shoots it
really
again.
good.
As soon as it's gone, he has it again. Like,
Yes, it's very hard to take the resource. I mean, it's not possible to take the resource away from him, but like even out of shield game becomes better and stuff like that. Like having access to the Z
there's
drop.
no way Snake doesn't hit like a ceiling, man.
Snake.
Like, he's
No.
like he's an example of winning Smash Bros, but even he's like one of the weaker examples to me.
So do you think Snake and Swords have a similar?
There's no way
aspect
Snake
and
won't like
sense?
eventually be like
Who
ugly.
who aren't you coming for? Who's the list of safe characters?
Sonic. Pikachu.
Sonic,
And?
Pikachu, Diddy
Rob,
Kong,
Diddy
Rob.
Kong.
Fox, of
Steve.
course.
Sheik is good. Fox is good. Aegis might still be fine because they have unique things that Ultimate
Yeah.
gave them.
Foresight.
Yeah. You don't have Cloud on that list? I think he has enough X Factor shit.
Bro.
All right. So what are the characters that you feel like is not? It's more of like them piloting the character and making sure that the opponent loses to themselves. List these characters. Because you so Snake, so you said
Swords.
Cloud,
Swords,
Torin,
Snake, right?
No, Snake is closer to like a character that you should play to win.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Interesting. Okay.
Gotta be, bro.
You gotta.
I think Hero and Aegis are good examples of Smash like sword characters that like you need to do stuff like this to keep them relevant.
Try
Like,
Okay.
Brand new
Sephiroth and
ideas
Sora?
and like give them something more than just like sword.
I think
Yeah,
Cloud
Sora.
hits that bucket, bro.
You want to
I
know
do-
why
I
Corn
do
was so
too.
good back in 4? Because
Like-
she received things that no one else had.
Yeah.
Pin, back air, F smash having a hitbox, like when it like if they keep doing stuff like that, the new sword characters will bring something to the table, and which is good because regardless of that, like even if they're average, it'll still be worth selecting them in certain spots. I think where like Hero is a character that you can have faith in for sure.
I get it. I see it.
Yeah.
It clicked in my head.
Do you think I'm right?
Yes and no. Yes and no. And I'm
Like Greninja? Like
how do I say it?
Greninja's just outdated. Like that's
Playing-
not real.
Playing.
I don't care that you can charge your neutral B, bro. I don't care.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Could they take
I don't
Greninja's
care that you have a
build?
little thing where you disappear. Like that's not good enough. These characters have like nukes as special moves.
Could could you take Greninja's, like, he's a great example of a character that's outdated, I think, because I think there's a way to take characters like that and update them without changing the spirit of the character. Do you believe in that? As like, if you just like Lucina, they don't change her in the next game, but she's a little faster and hits a little harder, so she keeps up with fucking Pyramithros shooting nukes,
Mm-mm.
you know? No?
Because you're still gonna have to play Smash.
You have to
Bros
play too
win.
much.
I get it. Okay, it clicked. It like
Power scaling.
once you said hero, and then you said Greninja, I was like, how does that even? Oh,
Like,
so hero.
the thing they bring to the table day one when they like make the character, right? Like, hero's like menu. It's like great. His sword is like kind of meh.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
Comparatively to other characters, yes. Other sword characters, yes.
Now
He's not like a conventional swordie, yeah.
Now his sword will be deceptively useful because he doesn't have to play the same tempo the whole game.
Dude,
like his sword could be even worse than it is now, and it would still be satisfactory. Like he would still be fine.
Well, there's another part of his kit that is empowering the sword part of the kit to make that stronger. Like now I'm getting buffs, but and now I'm a sword character.
Has neutral air and side B, and that's not enough. It's not enough.
As you said it, conventional. That's probably the best word to use.
Like,
yeah,
the archetype. If half the roster is going to be this archetype, Ike needs a fucking new neutral B. Like Jesus Christ,
he needs to he needs an overhaul in a lot of ways. But like, there are a lot of characters that have kept up and have done pretty well in that regard. Like Mario, for example, he's great in Ultimate, man, and he
benefits so well from like core things like running kills or parry or like he can get by on just like, all right, these are the new things to Smash. I'll just use that. And I have general mobility, so I can just play defensive. Like,
yes, because if we're putting characters in a bucket, him and Kazuya are in the same bucket, right? Mario and right?
Well, Mario has a lot more mobility than Kazuya. It kind of depends on if you think Kazuya is mobile. He is
Mario can hit
hard.
He's a brawler. They're both brawlers, right? They're not swordies. They're not gunnies.
Thing and run with it, like Snow timed out Sonics.
True.
Like
goat.
Like that's very impressive. But like it's possible. Like I just.
But do you think Kazuya can time out Sonic?
He has good out of shield. He has good stray hits. He'll extend on some hits. Sometimes maybe he won't, and that's fine. He has good air mobility. He has like a full hop like fireball. Sometimes the simplicity is why they are so good. And then sometimes the simplicity is why they suck. Shulk is like the best example of this because he's both. In Smash 4, the simplicity is why he sucked. In Ultimate, the simplicity is why he's good. Even then, he's not like that good. But you know what I mean? Like it's funny how it can work both ways with the same character. Like Fox, if they overhauled Fox, we would be risking him being worse.
I agree.
So the characters like Lucina and Wolf and Palu and who else did you name? Kind of Cloud. They all have to eventually come to the situation where they're kind of scrambling, and it's a guess on both people's.
They might be able to lose in a situation that you wouldn't blame them for it.
Yep. Where like
some of these other characters, I don't think you would like blame them.
I might have a good example that resonates with me. I feel like, so thinking about zoners, right? Like zoner, so Belmont. Okay, Belmont is X, Y, and Z, wins this way, loses that way, whatever, right? A lot of ways to lose. And then you look at someone like Min Min, who comes out later and gets all these crazy fucking power-up Dragon Arm, gets all this neutral air bullshit, like doesn't, recovery's fine enough.
Keep it together.
It really felt like an Ultimate character got turbo power crept in their own game.
Yeah.
And I think looking at it through these buckets of like Swordy or Brawler or gun character.
Yeah.
Kind of like what the Sephiroth, like he's a Swordy, kind of, but like what's Bayonetta? She a brawler? She fucking has guns. Like what? It's just characters are getting more and more complex, and you think that is more beneficial in the long term than a character that fits better into one of those individual buckets. That's what you're saying, right?
That was really well said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
WWW.
They do so well on their own, and like when I was talking to like Marcus about picking up a secondary, I was speaking in the lens of like sword character, like as an archetype that's existed from the beginning. And I think maybe in the long run, like it just might not be the best frame of mind. Like I don't know, like unique mechanics is like really, really important. And like
Okay,
but it's not just having them. They have to also be really good. Like
all right. I will never say this again, but I genuinely am curious. Why won't you pick up Sora? Genuinely curious.
Because he doesn't like Sora.
Jim.
I don't know, but like I would rather pick that than like a lot of other things. Like okay, this is a random thought, but I said this like a day or two ago. Sora's thunder spell is like trash.
It's the worst one. Yeah.
I don't think that move is very good.
It's definitely the worst spell by
It's
far.
the worst one. It has uses, but usually people cycle through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be spamming
Yeah,
Thundaga when
That's
he's
an, like
after
that's an
Slug.
example. I feel like if you like
But
hold your
there,
positioning really well, like you can have really, really good tempo breaks and like really, really be a confusing opponent. But I don't know.
I
It was
mean,
a 0 to death, everyone. There's that.
That's the thing. Like the best thing about stuff like that is when it's not the base.
You don't have to do it. Yeah.
The fact that it's not the base for Sora is more promising than if it was. Like
That's what Commandment was exciting to watch. He didn't 0 to death everyone. He had a couple here and there, but like
yeah, he would get there eventually.
it was
but
more.
like,
It felt more reset like instead of like a true 0 to death string. It usually
bro,
was
I
like.
wouldn't be surprised
oh,
if like a certain archetype
reset.
of character in the next Smash game, if like something like zoners were like just so much better than you expected or something, because like
No.
That already happened in Ultimate. Stop.
Yeah, exactly. They could just do it. Like if we keep going down this
please.
road,
No.
our idea of like what the best day one character to be, it might be good day one, but like then you'll like regret it or something. Like
Don't tell me grapplers are gonna be good. You see what it's done to Guilty Gear? I'm good, bro.
I don't think so. I don't think it would have to be based off special moves though, or their Z button grab is like entirely new idea.
What if Donkey Kong's down tilt always tripped?
Holy shit.
See, like now we're now this is more like Haz's idea of like what if we just buffed Lucina and it wasn't new, like that I'd have to consider, because then it's
Yeah.
getting to like Mario territory where it's like simple
It's
is
simple
good.
enough. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's still right. I hit a forward tilt or I hit a down tilt and you die or whatever. Right.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's,
like, all right,
that's
cool.
always going to be good. But
Yeah,
I think what you're saying, Gavin, and this, I think this is
like Diddy Kong's a good balance. I don't know.
this. Yeah. Well, he's really hard, I'd say. But he typically, the more complex a character they is, the more rewarding they should be. You know, and does that kind of fit into what you're saying? Like the more, because I mean, complexity
And unique.
usually, yeah, complexity and uniqueness.
So important. Like you can like Wario's waft mechanic doesn't even have UI compared to like Joker's who does. Like you can tell what games they're from, and you can tell like the ideas kind of like bleed into other characters, and I think it's just something really important to consider for the end game of Ultimate and also for the future of Smash as a whole. Like what to prepare for in a new character or like an overhaul design if they decide to do that. Like I don't know, man. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Like our idea of what's good definitely might change someday. I don't know if our idea of what's bad will ever change, but
bad recovery kind of stayed consistent throughout most Smash
Bad
games.
recovery, like
recovery's
awful
bad.
air drift.
it's just stats. Yeah.
Well,
It's
those
usually
that
just
too,
yeah.
though, like bad is like a perspective thing in a
It's
game. Like if the
relative,
game,
yeah.
it's relative. Thank you. If the game has incredible easy whatever recoveries and your recovery's bad, it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like Rivals.
I mean, yeah, right. Like I mean, even Cloud and Aegis, that's supposed to be one of their biggest weaknesses. They're doing just fine.
Well, when I say
you know,
bad recovery, I'm talking like
Ganon and Brawl.
Or
Yes.
Ganon and Brawl, yeah.
You're
I mean,
right.
it depends on the game
Engine.
mechanics too.
Exactly.
I mean, even Smash Forward to Ultimate, a big change, a huge change that I bitched about all the time year one Ultimate was that ledge trump was not consistent. You could DI ledge trump, and I was like, man, this really sucks because I felt like in Smash 4, when you go for a ledge trump and you grab the ledge, you are rolling a dice that you could lose the game. Like you could lose the game because now you're not on the stage anymore. So like if you go for a ledge trump and they, react perfectly and buffer a ledge roll and they roll before you do, now you're getting ledge trapped by like a small bit of frame advantage, but you're still in disadvantage now, right?
Yeah.
But at least the risk made sense for the reward, because back in Smash 4, if you hit a ledge trump, they would guarantee go to a certain spot. You would guarantee get your back air or whatever follow up. Corrin could do like the pin shit or whatever, right? Like some characters had harder punishes, but usually it was a ledge drop, double jump, back air, and that would get the job done at 110 or 120. And it's like, okay, this risk that I'm taking makes sense, right?
Like
Now it's like
I'm back.
It's consistent.
I'm back. I think Cloud is a good mix of Mario and Fox. And I don't know how else to explain it and word it other than that.
I think it's why he's so tempting to play for so many people, man.
Yeah. It's like he's simple enough, but also like overwhelming enough with just the size of his hitboxes, and he has enough uniqueness to him where it's like,
I think the limit changing his stats is important.
Yes.
I was going to say one of the biggest things, because we keep going back
like
to
a natural tempo break without even realizing it's happening, I guess.
Yes, and tempo break too. Down B is huge, man. It forces Ike has nothing like limit. Why would you ever approach Ike? Like, what is the point?
It's just unfortunate because, like, look at Ness, a character from 64, hitting yourself for your own recovery was a cool idea if you're like the first character ever added. But now it's like, especially because I don't know, like I've been playing like a card game lately, and like the game gets power crept like before your eyes. And in Smash, it's like a slower burn, but you still think about it when you play a game like Ultimate. Like, bro, that's not enough. Like, I don't care that your air dodge is it's still never going to be enough. Like, bro, you hit yourself for your recovery. Like, that's ass. Like, and then when I look at a character like Olimar, right? Like, he powers himself up, and there's like so much nuance to it, and it like gets really ramped up. Like, bro, Steve dies and keeps all the shit he fucking mined. Like,
right.
Like, it's right before our eyes. Like,
yeah, the power creep is aggressive.
I feel like your Smash investment, you can really make it a smart one. You really can. Like,
yeah.
Like, and this is different. This is more like for competitive gameplay. When I think of Peach, like, Peach is a really, really strong character in my opinion, because a lot of characters do eventually have to play Ultimate with Peach, and she will like win a lot of the time. Just frame data, out of shield, on shield, etc. And then, like Sora, she can kill you immediately. So if she's struggling because people aren't playing Ultimate with her, you have that to compensate for it. Like, despite like the statistical problems, Peach still aligns with a lot of what I agree with for winning. Like,
the small issue with Peach is unfortunately she loses to all the characters that do what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a weird dilemma of like, it's like ideologies like clashing, I guess.
Because she'll do well against. Am I calling somebody? My bad.
Who's there? Hey, I'm getting a call. Hold
on. She'll do well against Mosaic, and then she'll just run into Game & Watch or like Snake or something. It's like
that's why Game & Watch I just can't get on the train, bro. Like, because like of course, hearing everything I've said about Smash Ultimate, of course I'm not going to be the biggest believer. I lose to Mia and Meister all the fucking time too, which is hilarious. Because like obviously I've beaten both of them or whatever, but they still beat me all the time. Like, and like I said, it's like a clash of like ideas where I just feel like I shouldn't be losing rather than like,
dude, Game & Watch is fucking broken.
I know, but like what if you just don't deal with it? What if you just don't deal with
it? Dude, I don't. There's like, man, I don't think there's a lot of characters that can just look at Game & Watch and be like, I don't have to deal with you. Because even offensively, like obviously the character's not fast, but like you still have to respect him. Approaching it with Nair, there's still like just frame data wise, there's like crazy jab OSs. Like he's running up to you, he can dash attack you, he can dash grab you. Not the craziest dash grab, but still like dash up, jab one. Like there is still enough mix, and then it's like. That's not crazy. It's the situation after. Is he going to scramble?
There's still a chance in the next Smash game, if the game is mechanically different, I feel like he's more likely to not benefit from it. Because he benefits like in weird ways, like parry not being as clear if you're actually doing something that's worth punishing, or like weird cross-ups with the dash attack, or like not being able to run through people, like weird shit like that. Like if anything gets slightly changed in the next Smash game, I think it's more likely that a character like Game & Watch goes down than up.
You know, I sort of had that thought a long time ago when I was VOD reviewing for you for Mia, and it was the most simple change of anything, and it like kind of snuck by, and I don't think a lot of people really realize it, but his down B being a reflector is actually one of the craziest changes.
Tempo
like,
break.
It's ridiculous. I was like, well, I mean, he could just throw the banana here, and I'm like, but he actually can't throw the banana, and it's
during
like
that time he gets close.
Yes, and it's like that one simple change from one game to the other game to this game made him so much stronger as a character, and you don't really think about it. But when I was just so upset because I was like, dude, if he didn't have this reflector, would he even be good? Like, I started going that far because I was like, would he actually be good?
It's weird because characters like that, it's hard to trust their viability going to the next game. Like, it's interesting because one small change, whether it's moveset or the game's mechanics, can go so far. Like, once again, like Byleth goes against like all of my things I just said this whole podcast, but I would still be very interested to see what they do in the next game with a character like Byleth, because there's a couple moves I think are really interesting. But then there's other moves that I think are the exact opposite. But like, so it's like the whole special kit of Byleth is like a recipe for like short-term success at best. Like just
wait, that up B is hold on.
That shit's crazy. But like the side B buff was nice because like it's something, but like
they could change.
Okay, let's give it a Falcon Punch down B, and like
I wouldn't care if they
a
changed
shitty
that.
projectile, and like
I wouldn't care if they changed.
Well, that projectile takes half your shield away. Hold up.
Okay, I get it, but it's like but things like Nair and Up Air, if sword characters receive stuff like that more often, we're talking, bro.
Right, you value the unique part of it.
Like I think Corrin was such a
breaking the
good
mold.
prototype, like going into Ultimate, like Cloud and Corrin. Like Cloud was like, here's how good your idea of a sword character could be, and then Corrin is like, here's how good a new idea of a sword character could be. Maybe, yeah, I would say so, because like Corrin's neutral is fucking wild. Like, what is she doing? Like that's that's like 10 different swords, bro. And then like the pin mechanic, and then the back air, like moving her, and like all this, and like there's some multi hits in there, like, and then Cloud, like almost all of his moves, kind of like Joker, are someone else's moves in some way, and I think that's very interesting. And I think it might create an artificial ceiling in like a design way, and I think Joker is Ultimate's version of that, where like almost every single Joker move already exists. And I think in the long run, that would be a bad thing for him competitively.
It's so interesting because in the beginning of I'm going to go back to Game & Watch because I think he's such an interesting character because the community thought he was legit trash. They were like, wow, no forward air. They saw the new forward air, which is like, think about it. That was a very big change. Like Game & Watch had some pretty big changes.
You got a lot of like overhaul.
This is early year one, by the way, like literally first all year.
Right off the rip, Game & Watch was broken right underneath our noses. We had no fucking clue. And it's just, forward air is actually so great for Game & Watch because his old forward air was essentially like his back air, but just a single hit, right? With like a lingering sour hit. But when you think about it, when you give Game & Watch the new setup forward air, yes, you can swing through it and all that other stuff. Yeah. But if you don't swing through it, then this is where we start getting into territories where I think Game & Watch is super broken because he has so many option selects. He has so many situations where it's just set play, right? Yeah. He's set playing you with bacon at ledge. How often does ledge trapping happen? A lot. Okay, cool. He can also edge guard you. Now, in Ultimate, people weren't like going super crazy in the beginning of the game because everyone was like, fuck, it's so easy to recover. You can air dodge to ledge. I'm going to take my ledge trap, right? And then even everyone was struggling playing out of shield. They're like, fuck, man, I can't really like shield grab out of shield. That was a very common thing that you could shield grab practically every single aerial, no matter if they were top tier or not. If Sheik misspaced the forward air, you're grabbing Sheik and smash forward. That's how it went. But in this game, you can miss space aerials and auto L canceling is turned on so you can get out of spot dodge. And then there's spot dodge canceling and yada, 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 right? It's just so interesting to me because we valued all these things and we're like, shit, we can't do it, but we didn't look at the characters that still could. And that's, to me, like, if I'm playing, I'm not good at Ultimate or anything, but if I'm playing someone and I think they're like ass at the game and they're just mashing and I can just shield and beat them, I will pick Game & Watch and friendlies and shield and up B out of shield and just be like, I'm now playing Smash 4. I'm running up and shielding, and this is something that I've done for years, and it works on this character specifically because this character can do something that it, like every other, no, I'm lagging. Every other character in the game got that taken away from them, right? But Game & Watch kept it. So it'll be interesting if that happens again, because like Gavin is pointing out, he doesn't think Game & Watch is going to have that same, like the same reasons why Game & Watch is good in this game. The chances of that is so low at happening because he specifically kind of flew under the radar and was like, everyone in the community assumed you can't play out of shield and you can't, unless you parry, you can't edge guard. So we just ledge trap. And that was just very surface level things, but Game & Watch can do all these things because of the specific kit he got. And then he got new like set play stuff. So I think it's just interesting to look at him because he's good, but like not for the reasons you would think. He's good because he kept things from the previous game that other characters didn't.
Yeah.
Well, just so the chat knows, conversations with Gavin go like this a lot. Like he'll just toss out a thought, or it's not even fully baked, but there's something there at the core, and then we talk about it. Just
after an hour, has finally got a statement, and then Gavin's like, "That's it. That's just an hour to crack them," and then like has.
I think what I like about it is you're all absorbing what I'm saying like differently, but still providing things that I'm like, yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and
so I just the next Smash game is just so important, obviously, because I'm very curious to see like if they answer any of these questions at all.
I think we don't. Just real quick, we don't always agree with you all the time either. Like sometimes we're like, bro, what are you talking about?
I think we disagree more often than we agree.
I'm like super like I'm honed in on this though. Like
I think you have a point. I just don't think
I just like playing characters that feel like I just want to feel infinite. I don't want to feel
you want future-proof characters. You don't want to play a character because, but like again, we always bring this parallel out. Like Leo is the exact opposite and was like, he knew Ike was bad at Genesis 6 and he fucked 80% of the bracket up spamming Nair with Ike because he was like, yo, it's month 1. It's fucking time to activate. I love Ike and it's good enough to win this tournament. Oh shit, there's these players that like go these characters. There's Lucina. Boom.
Yeah.
Think of how much the
tier list has shifted. I think it's great.
Yeah, he's playing to the meta. I mean, that's a part of how
he's very aware, and that's a skill. Like he's aware. Present in the moment,
ball, bro.
And that's a great skill. Like he especially because look at all the shit you could select in Ultimate. Like it's not easy to realize what's a good pick.
Even super early tier lists, simple characters were better, man. They just were. They were just better. Like, and that's why some characters like Sonic didn't get figured out for a little bit. Not that he's like super complex, but he wasn't what he used to be, and people had to put some time into him to figure him out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like I was telling you,
Ludo is locked in. You're right. You're right. My bad,
dude. What? Yes.
What? We're linked.
There is logic behind it. It might not come to fruition like immediately.
Oh, you're saying he's playing for next game? Like that's what he's getting ready for?
He might not even it might help. I don't know if it's on purpose.
Definitely.
It could help.
Think similar to what you were saying.
Bro,
playing any complex
Link
character,
and you're actually trying to do some shit.
Yo, Gluto got some sick Twitter clips from Gluto.
Wait,
on the
does
link,
he?
Bro. Yes, dude.
I'm about to lock in.
He's fucking
Gluto
nice,
is
bro.
so fucking
nice.
Think about all those crazy like Incineroar clips we saw on Twitter, like when we first saw them, right?
Yeah,
they were fucking awesome. Like flying around the screen, like, oh, this is Incineroar doing this, and then after a couple years, the base for the clip is still the same. You know what I mean? Like there's a ceiling. Like they're really cool, but if you look at Link, like he might do some weird shit that you've never seen before just because he has an item, bro. Items are crazy. Or I don't even know what I'm saying, bro.
Okay,
this also happens a lot talking to
you. Think of Ice Climbers too. Ice Climbers are like what we said for Sora, except Ice Climbers might be relying on the death combos. relying on the death combos is an inherent issue. Because that's up to your opponent, not you. That's up to your
Ooh.
opponent.
That's kind of a cool parallel too with like
Like
melee
Luigi
ice climbers.
sucks. Luigi sucks.
Hold
Luigi
on.
sucks. He's better than I thought, but he still sucks.
I'm down for that. Okay, I'm
He's
back.
simple, yeah.
Luigi was immediately what came to my mind because I was like, honestly, he
He's
doesn't
better than
even
Ice Climbers though because he's
rely on
less
them
reliant on
anymore.
it. But there's still like
I think
I don't
of
wanna
that
rely-
archetype, Luigi's the best one.
I think relying on
like
your opponent is reasonable, especially if you're really good, because you're probably going to be better than your opponent. But relying on your opponent is I just don't want to do that. I just don't want to. Like, I don't want to pick Kazuya or Ice Climbers or Luigi. I don't want to rely on my opponent. Like, no.
Hey, that's fair. And that's why you play Diddy Kong and you pull the banana and you get to work and you do that neutral.
This is on me.
Yeah, you do all those super honest, guaranteed setups. Yeah. That you worked really hard so your opponent didn't have any counterplay.
It said like smash attacks with KOs and it's just like a gajillion. It's like, oh yeah, I can just combo into all of my smash attack.
It's so to me, I just think it's very ironic where you're like, well, I'm trying to be like, or I don't know if you're actually saying it, but like to be quote unquote good at Smash, you grind Smash so much that your opponent can't play Smash and you just win.
Yeah.
So that's having better fundies than your opponent.
Jeez Louise.
Got it.
Like,
I think
there has to be a way, bro.
I think sometimes doing too much also exists. Sometimes like overthinking things or like overcomplicate. Like that's where the simple.
I'll do so bad at a tournament that I could have just like simplified things.
Yeah.
This whole episode was an overthinking episode, huh?
This shit. I literally checked the Discord. I was like, "What is happening right now?"
Pick Bayo.
Hey. Yeah, Gavin is sword shaming people now. Is what's happening.
Sword shaming.
Sword shaming.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Do you play a sword character? You're holding yourself back. You could be so much more. Please, everyone, stop playing sword characters. Well, that actually would hurt you.
You may be getting first place right now, but what if you stop getting first place?
You're not thinking about the year 2035. This is stupid. They pick Lucina, and you're like, oh, dude, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Like,
Fargo, I know you're winning, but dude, think if you didn't play sword character.
Like, pick Hero.
Well,
pick Hero for the next Smash game. They're gonna make more shit like that, bro. Pick that.
Of course. Yeah. But I'll also say since 4, when they really started balancing the game well, the standard archetypes usually do pretty fucking well too. Even with all the new bullshit that comes out. Mario, Lucina, whatever. They've been good.
That's the thing. Like I don't like
sorry, I'm not trying to dump
like Diddy Kong is so good because he has everything I said. He has everything I said. He has a simple move where he just fucking kicks. All right, perfect.
Oh, well, hold on.
That move
also grabs. It also auto cancels on ledge. Hold on a second.
But he also I was talking about back air, bro.
Oh, I thought you were talking about I thought you're well, okay, he does kick a lot. I thought you were talking about monkey kick. Like, I was like, hold on a second.
He has a fucking command grab with 2 different distances, or like it can kick, it can command grab, it can be safe. Like he has a banana that's transcendent that does 1,000,000 damage and kills you. Like he has shield poke setups. Like he has like a crazy recovery. But like sometimes you can just spam down tilt and win. Like that's so good. Like
I think proof. Okay, I'll challenge your.
You also might just lose to Isabel. So
yeah, I'll say too with the complex characters going between games, you have a really good chance of your character getting whacked for sure. Like Steve next game, I don't know what they're gonna do to that character. They are certainly gonna change him.
Fuck Bayo and Cloud up, man.
Exactly what I'm saying.
But I still think you're better prepared for the next game
to do weird shit and like non-Smash shit. Yeah, it's good anyway.
A different character, like dude, Cloud in Smash 4, like mechanically, was like closer to Ultimate than Smash 4 itself.
Yes.
Like, find what you think is like the prototype to the next Smash game because you might find it, bro.
Fuck, I can't wait, dude. This kind of shit makes me so excited for the next Smash game because in the the first month or two, all the like you're just talking to your friends and stuff, and you're like, okay, because the character you pick and go to tournaments with,
Charles onto the future before the game even came out. I put Charles onto the future.
You did.
He will attest to this.
Yes, you did. And then Well, because it's crazy because you're trying out all these characters and you're also figuring out the base game. You're trying out all the characters that were good in the previous game, figuring out if they're even good or bad. And it's just so crazy because any top player that goes to a tournament and they're playing a character, they're also putting all the marbles down and being like, hey, well, either one, they just enjoy this character that much, or two, hey, I think this is what wins right now.
Yeah.
Right. For the most part. And so you're almost putting your Smash IQ on the line too, right? Because especially if you're a pro player, you're like, this is what I'm from my time with the game. This is what I feel is strong.
This is
and
my
what
perspective.
This is my perspective. This is my strategy on the game. Like what I do now is what I feel like you should be doing in advantage state or yada, yada, yada. Right. Like I said, just even advantage state now is very similar to like how Leo plays it, where it's like, let's trap by roll. Don't get reversal, stuff like that. These are all things he was doing back then and no one else was doing, but he prioritized it and people eventually started copying him. And I think it is cool to get to the phase of Smash where it's like, okay, we know what's strong. Like these numbers say this, these results say this, but it's like such wild. It just feels like the wild west. You know what I mean? When the game first comes out and everyone's just, it's like a rush for information. Like you're checking Twitter all the time, you're laughing stuff and you're like, I need more info. What's good? What's bad? Like, and then on top of that, to me, what makes the players that were good in the beginning of Ultimate specifically, Ultimate was the hardest game, in my opinion, for like the very first release, because the information is so public and the game is the most balanced Smash game of like all the official titles, right? So it's like there was so many things that were good on top of that. And like you have to learn so many matchups. You have to be like insanely good at playing matchups you've never played ever in your life in a tournament and figuring it out on the spot. Like that shit to me is like crazy. I don't know. I can't wait. We're not like super close, but we're getting there. So
yeah.
It's cool to think about.
Hey, we're on high alert, bro.
Yes.
That shit in April, you never know. I don't think so. You never know.
Basically, every Nintendo presentation from like now on, it could happen, basically.
Yep. And that's the bottom line. Shout outs to Gilhue.
True.
Great Kirby. That shit was crazy.
Kirby was doing lots of damage, I'm not gonna lie.
All right, so how high is Kirby's ceiling, Gavin?
Low as fuck.
Jesus Christ. Poor Kirby.
Floaty slow.
Dang, not a good combination.
You're maining him for Genesis.
There's no tempo breaking. It is just run at them and hit them.
Well, it's actually run away from them and crouch.
Yep.
Or that. Yeah. But then nothing happens. So like,
and then turn around up tilt. Oh, watch out.
Got him.
You gotcha. Gilhue Mall. And JJ popped off. Hold on. You're saying all this, but you know what, Gavin? Hey,
Kirby got results,
much simpler than Curbs.
I don't know, bro.
Dang, the response just like
I made him
yawn, dude. He's like, Kirby?
No, dude, I think Kirby's crazy, bro.
Oh God.
I bet my Kirby would go foolish. I was thinking about
Stop it.
Bro, stop. You know, that's crazy. We shout out Gilhue. I'm sorry.
Gilhue.
Yeah, Gil. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know why I can't say
Someone
that.
told me I'm saying it right. If that's wrong, I'm sorry.
Frame 7 down smash.
And not Meister. Meister won the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch.
You get a Leo win, they don't even care about who won.
We just talked about
2 Leo wins.
Not being good, but he wins. He wins a lot.
Gilhue with 2 W's, and they're both on
Waka had a crazy run.
Squid Plumber had a crazy run. Losers.
Oh yeah, they have a good losers.
You
run.
did?
Yeah.
You actually did.
My goat Moru got top 8.
Hey, I watched. I saw you in the chat, bro.
Oh yeah, I was locked in. That's my
chat buddies.
My goat.
You were.
That's my
goat.
goat.
Great. Gavin, I'm glad you're going to more tri-state shit. Y'all are a very strong region. I'm glad I tune in more when you. I tune in anyway, but more when you're there. So that's cool. I think more regions are realizing if they want to stand up to how strong and united Japan has been, there's only one way to do it, and it's to be as strong and united in your own little sub-regions in NA. And Mexico had 3 tournaments this weekend. Spargo, Leo, and Meister all won tournaments, which is great to see. They're a fucking strong region, which is cool. Yeah. So I don't know how we move off of this weird topic of complex characters, but take us out, Gav.
Yeah, I mean, people won. It was lit. Chase, you know.
Oh yeah, congrats to Chase as well. Thanks for supporting the show as always. I do a bunch of Patreon content like VOD review. We also do bonus questions and stuff. So if anyone's interested, at patreon.com/tweektalks. Hopefully the conversation made even a little sense to you. I'm sorry if it did not, but
let us know in the comments below.
I'd
what
be
In the
your
theory
favorite
minds
part
of a
was.
top level Smash player.
I'd be theory crafting, and it's like this is like a couple day old thought that hasn't been verbalized yet, so I apologize. But
Marinating.
yeah, have a good one. Thank you so much for supporting us as always. Thank you.